What's up, Builders Club TV Nation? You got Dewan Jones here, your professional stay-at-home dad, and I'm super excited, fired up, family. Of course, we have another phenomenal individual on the show tonight. We got someone who is doing some tremendous things in the online world of home business, doing some tremendous things, helping a lot of people. In fact, entrepreneur, business mentor, online marketer. She's helping a lot of people, family, and we're excited to have her here on the platform. We got Tammy Montgomery on the show. Let me get myself on camera so I can speak to the family directly. And as always, I want to thank you for tuning in. Also for sharing the information about the Builders Club TV. We appreciate you. Of course, we're doing this for the culture, but if you're coming in, make sure you smash the like button. This helps with the visibility of the show. Of course, the goal is to spread the word that we're finally here, family, that we are doing this. We're here to stay, and this is just the beginning. And we're going to continue to bring you phenomenal people on the show to spread the value and help you with tips and just all around value to help you go out there and crush it in your business. And let's make sure we have Tammy on the show with us. Can you hear me okay, Tammy? Doing great. Let me get you on camera as well so the family can see you and we can talk to you and pick your brain a little bit. There you go. What's going on, Tammy?
Just sitting here in sunny Arizona, and I'm really excited to be here. This is my first time on your show, so I'm honored to have that you had me here. So I appreciate that.
Awesome. We definitely were looking forward to having you on. So when we were able to grab a hold of you and get you here, we were excited to find out you'd be coming on. So thanks again for coming on to the Builders Club TV show. Absolutely. If you've seen the show a little bit, Tammy, what we like to do, we like to throw our guests in the Builders Club TV time machine, and the family knows we take the family on a virtual field trip back to your past, because we've learned there's so much to gain when you start digging into the past of successful people, people that have been able to create growth for themselves and for others in their business. There's so much to learn. Would you agree?
Oh yeah, absolutely. Yeah, you're right on spot. That's actually what I started doing when I started learning. Yes.
Absolutely. Well, now that you're bringing that up, let's talk about that. Let's go back to the moment you started learning. What were you doing, Tammy, before you figured out this home business, work online, make money online industry?
It's been a passion of mine to always work with people. Just going back, my background is actually real estate, and my husband and I owned 2 restaurants as well. So we were mortgage brokers and real estate investors before I started online.
Oh, wow.
And one of my mentors told me, they said, if you could run a successful business offline, then you can run a successful business online. It's all about relationships and building relationships with people. So the beauty of, I guess you could say, myself is I've been always open-minded. When I met my husband at the age of 20, I'm not going to date myself, but it was 31 years ago. He said to me, Tammy, you don't have to work in this factory here where we met. Okay, so we actually met in a factory back in New York, Western New York. And he said, you don't have to work in that factory all your life. So he's the one that actually brought me into the entrepreneurial world. And I started, like what you just said, I started listening to people, successful people, and what it really takes to become an entrepreneur, because let's face facts, you got to like yourself to work for yourself. So it's always a never ending, you could say, experience. That's really what you want to call it, as an experience. Because I don't look at okay, so we lost our mortgage broker company after 9/11. New York State came in and they changed all the points. Okay, so I was a mortgage broker, real estate investor, and all of a sudden our world came crashing down. We built a multi-million-dollar portfolio. Wow. And it was really hard to lose those 15 homes to foreclosure, and also to have our own personal home ripped out and taken from us as well. A lot of people know of the meltdown that happened in that range of 2006, 2008, that range, right? Mm-hmm. The bubble. So it was very, very hard on me. I had gained a lot of weight. I actually had gained over 100 and some pounds, which now I've successfully lost again because of this home-based business industry.
Congratulations.
They call me the fearless mama. But that was what really you could say is my background, is mortgage and finance. And I always wanted to help people. So I feel like I can help people through this industry.
That's amazing. I mean, and please forgive me for not acknowledging you as the fearless mama, because you are known widely, and I love that name. In fact, can you tell us, how did you come up with that name? Where did that name come from? The fearless mama.
Well, I had, yeah, sure, no problem. I love the name Fearless. I love sayings. I have mottos. I have, like you said, this is your family, this is your crew, and this is your tribe. And I think people want to have that community and that belonging, because it is not easy to be working for yourself. You have to get up, you have to dress, you have to, just like you do anything else. And hey, you dress up for work. I dress up and I'm in my home office, right? That's that fan is actually one of my workout equipment that you're seeing in the background. So it's one of those row machines. But so fearless though comes from the fact of how much I've gone through. And I'm not like a lot of these, other people that say, I was on the streets. I was homeless, and I was living in my parents' basement floor, but I wasn't homeless. So when a company owner approached me and wanted to put a product together, he said, I really wanted to have a standout name and to brand yourself, because everybody, as you know, as yourself, Dwan, you want to brand yourself online. So he came up with the Fearless Mama. I came up with the Fearless Mama almost at the same time in our conversation. So it was almost like a spontaneous combustion, kind of a collaboration, sort of like how you and I have been talking here. So people will recognize other people's strengths and abilities. And he just said, I've seen you blossom in the online space. And he said, you seem to be fearless. Nothing really seems to stop you. And I said, well, when you have the skill set and you know what you know, nothing can be taken away from you. If your home has been taken away from you, all the materialistic things have been taken away from you, it don't matter. It boils right down to, I think so many people try to hold on to materialistic things. That's not what life's about, guys and gals. It's about you, and to take care of you, and that's the thing. So that's where the Fearless Mama came into effect. Was I want to have people know that if everything was taken away from you tomorrow, you can get it back because of this, because of the knowledge, because of the 6 inches between your ears. So it won't matter what has ever happened to you in the past. It doesn't matter to me what's happened to someone in the past. Listen, today's a new day. We can start over. So that's where the Fearless movement started.
Wow, that's good stuff. Now, I want to change gears with you a little bit and talk to you about what you're known for, the online marketing space, and you're doing quite well. At what point, in fact, let me ask you this. Let me ask you like this. When you started out, was it online, or were you introduced to a different type of business model? Did you start out online, or how did you progress?
Yeah, I actually went to Barnes and Nobles, and so my husband and I were kind of like figuring out, okay, what do we want to do as far as starting a business, because we've started many and plenty. And we went to Barnes and Nobles and found a home-based business magazine, which a lot of people do, saw the ad, and then I saw a website, and then I called a number, and I was hooked. I was like, you know what, if I can lead someone to a website and a phone number, then that's going to be as simple as that. So it's member to member high ticket space is really where I've broke you could say the threshold with the women in the crowd. So I'm top sponsor right now to 2 high ticket companies, and you don't see that a lot in women. It's always just the guys. So because I'm a fearless person, I wanted to help women especially break through that, and the thing is 95% of my clientele is men, but I think they realize that, hey, you know what, if this lady can do it, then I can do it. But that's where I started, actually, was a member to member business opportunity, not MLM or anything like that. That's very difficult to bug your friends and family. I ran out of friends and family. I know most people do.
Don't we all?
So that's what I specialize in, and I specialize in lead generation for those companies.
Right. Okay. Now let me dig a little deep here, because I know someone's watching this interview and they're itching. They're saying, ask her this, ask her this. So let me ask you this. When people typically start out trying to uncover this online marketing space, trying to figure out where to start, because as you know, there's an ocean of information. There's so many people pulling you this way, pulling you that way, telling you, hey, I'm the person you should follow. I have the secret to success, the secret sauce, if you will. But isn't there really only a few like fundamental things people need to learn in spite of
Yeah.
everything everyone's out here selling you, right? Isn't there only like a few
There really is.
fundamental things people, can you kind of break it down a little bit, and what are like the key, like essential things you need to just focus on first if you're trying to make it online?
Yeah, well, number one, you have to have. There's two reasons why business fails. You have to have a proper amount of funding. That's actually something that we still do. My husband and I, we help people raise capital. But you also have to have exposure, and a lot of people are like, yeah, but where, right? So, for example, something like this platform, Zooms, YouTube, Facebook, social media is great for your exposure. But you also have to have targeted eyeballs on your website. So if you don't have a capture page follow-up system with whatever you're marketing online, then you're going to have a hard time, because it takes between 7 to 12 contacts for a person to actually join you in a home-based business. That's just statistics. That's not my own. So let's say someone comes through your capture page today, opts in, you get an email notification. Yay, they're looking at your stuff. They got a follow-up email from you. It may take that person that, not everybody joins on your time, and they join on their time. That's what I've learned over 10 years. So I have a passion for teaching that part of it, because there's so many people out there teaching and training and saying, you know what, you're going to get rich today. It's going to happen overnight. That's not true. It's just like anything, a McDonald's, even our restaurants. It took us, I don't know if I covered this, but it took us 12 months. I don't think I did. It took us 12 months to even see a dime. Whereas a lot of these systems, you can plug in and start making, cash flow as soon as you start getting to work, which is really cool. We can never say how, when, what, or what time frame, but that's the fundamentals that people really need to know. Is that just like when we were mortgage brokers, we'd keep track of clientele, but we did it the old-fashioned way. And I still keep notepads and things like that, right? Mm-hmm. Like, okay, such and such is joining, or you know what I mean? But systems are big. That's the fundamentals that people have to know. Because so if you're out, or I'm out walking or doing my walk, and it's over 1,600 and some days now since I've lost 100 pounds, it would be very behoovant for that person to have something automation working for you. That is the biggest misnomer, I think, online, is that so many people distract them and say, you can just have a company page and send them to that page and they're going to buy it. That's not true. You have to have that system, that capture page follow-up system. That's what I'm sure you know it, Dwan. I mean, it's literally like the lifeblood is your list and your following.
Absolutely. Good stuff. Hope you're taking notes, family. Powerful stuff being given away here.
Absolutely. It's $1 million stuff.
It's $1 million information. Absolutely. So tell us, because you still have people who they hear landing page, lead capture page, build your list, but they don't know where to start. And because there's so many starting points, meaning that there's so many people telling you where to begin, people get lost in the sauce. They end up buying all this training. They end up they focus on all these different like tactics and all these things. But like you just mentioned, there's only a few fundamental things you need to focus on. What is the first thing? Like, for example, you said, building an audience. Where should a person who's totally new, like they've been only offline so many years, talking to friends and family, going to networking events, stopping people in the grocery store, right? That sort of thing. But how does a person begin to build their audience or build their list?
Well, yeah, you gotta plug in the tools. So, that's the biggest thing, is having tools. I call it like online real estate. So that's where you need to start, is figure out a good mentor, a person to work with, so that they can show you and guide you to exactly what you need. So, there already are existing companies right now, the ones I use, the ones that you probably use. And so that's where you need to start, is with that basic. And then follow the instructions. Most of this stuff is online 24/7, and you don't have to have someone there over your shoulder all the time telling you what to do, because after all, you're getting into a home-based business to have your independence. I know I was. I didn't need a sponsor. I still don't need a sponsor, but I'm just saying, like, that's what you need to find, is that tool. You got Aweber, you have, all these different words, but if you have a good converting funnel, they call it a sales funnel, that you work with, then all you have to do is, and I post on Craigslist every day, for example. You can start there. Start putting your business up on Craigslist, put it up on Facebook, put it up on YouTube. It's not hard. My son actually is 25 years old and he's full time with me now. And he has a messenger tool actually. So he teaches and trains people on how to use the messenger tool. It's autopilot. It runs all day. I have it going right now while we're talking. So, so there can be automation that runs for you so that you can just have a life. Most people think that when they do get into a business that they're going to have to do all the legwork, that they're going to have to be doing all the advertising, and that's not true. You can start outsourcing as well to people.
Powerful stuff, which is a great segue to social media. Can we talk about social media a little bit? Because your son, Robert, shout out to Robert. Got to get him on the show. Drag him over here so we can get him on the show.
Oh, yeah, I'll get Robbie on, sure.
Robert's a beast when it comes to social media. You are too. You guys really have found a way to grab a hold of the social media audience and get people looking. And that's one of the things a lot of people struggle with is social media. And it's so key.
Yeah, and I think people, they don't look at Facebook like it's a business. Like a Facebook to me is a huge paycheck. I've earned multiple 7 figures online just with Facebook alone.
Wow.
I have 2 Facebook accounts, 5 different fan pages. I mean, so don't look at Facebook like you're connecting with, I don't want my friends or my family to see me. Look at Facebook like start connecting with business contacts, like you and I, for example. Start realizing that you have to have your Facebook profile set up specifically. That's what my son actually does for people. So realize that it's almost like a billboard nowadays with Facebook. Make sure you have your banner. My banner is all about my family, a good picture, so like that's what Facebook is for now. I mean, guys like Ty Lopez, I mean, they make tons of money on social media. They don't even spend a dime on their advertising. You don't have to when you have social media nowadays. When we were mortgage brokers, you wouldn't believe the budget I had to have for that office. I had to pay out $15,000 before I could even put any money in my husband's in my pocket. Nowadays, people don't realize what we have at our fingertips and how much money we can save and pocket because of social media. I'm not joking. $15,000. Remember the phone books?
Oh my gosh.
We had our ads in there, Dwan. We had our ads in there. So. Wow. Then we had billboards, and then I'd have reps come in and they'd try to sell me those, benches, excuse me, on the park. We'd have Universal Funding Group, mortgage broker, we can refinance your home. And then the ugly house signs. Remember the ugly house signs?
Oh, yeah.
So the world is ever changing and moving, but you have to be up on it and know with the times of what works and what don't work. And I'm telling you right now, Facebook works. Facebook, YouTube, these sort of shows, having your own platform, Zooms work. It's just, a lot of information. But like I said, if you start with one marketing method, one lead generation method, and to start your building your list, and then layer on another one after you learn it, then it's not very overwhelming at all.
I was just getting ready to ask you that, Tammy. Another challenge that people have is that, they're hearing that, okay, social media is the way, but Facebook's hot right now. Oh, it's not Facebook anymore, it's Instagram. Instagram is what I'm supposed to use. Oh, it's not Instagram, it's Twitter now. Everybody's using Twitter. So what's the remedy for that? How do you get people to understand, where they should stick and stay, or even if that's the method? Should people jump around social media, or should they stay and build one and then move on?
Yeah, they should stay and build one and get it really down pat, build your audience, build your following. And then, I tell people, listen, if you have 90 minutes a day, you can manage all of that. Even if you have all those platforms, if you have 90 minutes a day. I have a 90-minute blueprint, DMO. Everybody says, what's a DMO? It's a daily method of operations. If you don't have some sort of operations or checklist, you will make yourself kind of go crazy. So you have to write things down. I think people forget. Back in the old days, you have to write things down. So here's a good 3-step for people. I always keep it on my desk. Number 1 is you have to assess where you're at. Right? You have to have that hunger. You have to find out, where are you at? Do you have a Facebook? What do you have for your social platform? If you don't have a Facebook, my gosh, what are you waiting for? People are going to look you up on Facebook. Have a plan, figure it out. Who do you want to work with? Where do you want to start? Have that plan. And then thirdly, implement it. Don't just sit there and not take action, because it can actually make procrastination, which we know is going to be the killer of all dreams. So that's what you need to do, though, is you need to assess your situation. If you have a Facebook with your family and you don't want them to see it, then for gosh sakes, open up another Facebook so you can work there on business. It's not rocket science. I think a lot of people have the fear, and that's why I'm called the Fearless Mama, because I help people get over that fear. But you know what? People are going to know, just like when you're seeking out someone, they're going to be seeking out the same thing. They want transparency nowadays. They want people to help them. And then after all of that, just evaluate on a weekly basis, if you can do it on a day-to-day basis, of what your actual action, what did it result in? Did it result in getting you more contacts? Did it result in getting you more leads? And that's it. That's pretty much a simple 3-step plan: assess, plan, and implement. So I've always gone by that. And in any business, not just the online digital space with digital products, but I've always had a checklist for when we opened up a restaurant. And by the way, we did sell one of those restaurants, and it was very lucrative, luckily. And then we moved out to Arizona in 2006. So I'm just saying that, like, you just have to always have checklists, always have, write down, like you just said, write down these notes. But those 3 steps have always helped me. Always helped me whenever something, either, because everything's impermanent. Okay, everything's impermanent. Seriously, I've learned that in my life. 52 years on this earth. I'll be 53 in July. I don't mind saying it.
Congrats! Happy birthday early.
I mean, and I feel good. You know what I mean? But it's because of this home-based industry that I've been able to work on myself. And just have an amazing life. And we travel all over, and and we can literally work from our phone. That's the biggest thing. Work from your phone, work from wherever you are, but make sure that you get with someone and then take action.
Let me talk to you a little bit about that, and I'm glad to have someone of your caliber on the show, because I believe you're a prime example that it doesn't matter who you are, what you are, where you are, you can do this, and you can start now, right? Is it ever too late? Because, you have people who feel like they might be in a certain position or the prime in their life where they don't feel like they're ready to take on any new information or try anything different as far as method. And they feel like, well, that's for the young kids. The young kids, they got this social media stuff. They have this internet stuff, and that's for the young bucks. I don't have time for that. I'll get somebody. But is that the right logic? Should you be on the other side?
That's the wrong logic. Yeah.
Is it? Talk to us about that.
Yeah, I mean, my husband, he uses the internet, and he didn't even know how to send and receive an email, and he makes it full time. So I mean, you can teach people in their 40s and 50s. It's a falsity. I mean, yes, my son Robert is great, and he helps me out with like a lot of the techie stuff from time to time. Putting on cash apps and things like that. Some of that stuff's over my head. So if you know a teenager, hey, tap them on the shoulder, and if you need help with your apps, just ask the teenagers. They'll be more than happy to do it. But you don't have to know how. This is just like anything, like a car or a vehicle. I have a Titan Midnight Edition, big huge truck, one of those Tonka trucks. I don't know how the engine works, but I know it gets me from point A to point B, right? Same thing with the social media. You don't have to be a young whippersnapper to know how to make it work and how to actually make money with it. All you got to do is post a status about what you're doing, and then just engage on other people's posts, and eventually you're going to start be a rising star. There's not a lot to this. You know what I'm saying? So I don't believe in age. I have taught people in their 70s and 80s become very successful. I have over 3,000 some members in the Fearless Mama community. Facebook groups are great because people like to have, communities. So start up a Facebook group. They're wonderful. Even if you have 2 people in it, hey, it's a start, but you just have to start today.
That's amazing.
That's what I tell people. Doesn't matter what age though.
That's amazing. I feel like we don't have enough time to speak with you, Tammy. There's so much that we can pull and learn from you. We definitely gonna have you back on the show for sure. Will you go ahead and give out your social media website or anything else like that the family can get in touch with they like?
Oh, sure, that'd be great. I'd love it. You can actually look me up, work with Tammy Montgomery on Facebook if you want. And it's kind of like it's got the pitch. I just changed my picture last night, like the one that you grabbed. It's a always evolving platform for me because I started out just posting, but now I do like lives and things like that, and like for the community. But that's where they can find me.
Amazing, amazing. And again, we definitely want to have you back on. Still have a few more questions for you that we want to pull again from you for the family.
Sure.
So much to learn from you and definitely inspirational. Before we let you go, however, we do have a game we want to play with you that we've been playing with our guests, and the family's been loving it. We call it a word of advice with the mentor. And it's basically we're going to give you a few words, Tammy, and you're going to give us back a word of advice using those words. Does that make sense?
Sure.
So you give us a word of advice based on the words that we're going to shoot at you. You ready?
Sure.
All right. So this is real simple, real fun. Here's the first word for you. The first word we have for you, Tammy, is fear.
False evidence appearing real.
Like it. Like already crushing it. The next word we have for you is leads.
Leads are the lifeblood of your business. Seriously.
The next word we have for you is guide.
That's going to come from within. I know this is going to be a little bit deep, but you have to guide yourself, and we can't motivate anyone, right? It has to come from within. So you have to guide yourself every single day and find out where your passion is. That's going to be your beacon of light every single day, because when things get rough, and they have gotten rough for me in years past, let me tell you, I dye my hair blonde because you don't want to see the gray. So you guide yourself every day, and you have to find your burning desire to help people, to work with people.
Amazing. The next word we have for you is live.
Find a business where it's going to give you the best life, because I've seen and even had clients pass away. I had a lady that I coached, and she came down with cancer last year. I met her in Vegas at one of the No Excuses events. You guys probably heard it, in Eric Worre Go Pro. I try to attend as many events as possible. I coached her every day, and it was hard. She was on a radio show. So we did radio shows similar to your show, and I've talked with her all the time, and then all of a sudden she messaged me and said she's came down with cancer. She didn't realize she had it, and she was living every day. I can say that. She was living every day. So just live your life every day, because you just never know.
Amazing. The last and final word that we have for you, Tammy, is freedom.
Freedom. It is the best word. It's actually my favorite word besides fear and fearless. The freedom that it has given me to be able to move my family last year in 2019 from New York, where we really wanted to, we had a hunger and a burning desire to get out of New York. And because of this industry and because of systems and what I was talking about earlier, was able to literally make money from the road. So literally plugging into systems that you can do and work from the road. I mean, we have truck drivers. We have, people that are listening to the show may have a full-time job. Guess what? On lunch hour, you can sit there and on your iPhone, get back to people and say, here's my link to sign up. We are living in one of the best times. I can think back, like I said, to when I used to have to generate leads for mortgage broker business. Right now, we are in the best times. I know there's a lot of information, but if you can find the golden nuggets of this interview and then implement, it's going to give you the best freedom that you've ever felt, and I can guarantee that. And it will help you with whatever personal part of your life. And money is like oxygen. If you don't have money, it's not going to give you freedom. So if you're always looking at your bank, I just know that with me focusing on helping others, I don't have to worry about my bank account. It will always be full. So the freedom that I know with that's what it gives me, is freedom. As long as I'm here to help people, I'll be able to have my freedom.
Amazing. Well, we appreciate you coming on to the show, Tammy. Again, like I said before, we got to have you back. We consider you your family here on the Builders Club TV show now. So we're gonna
Love it.
We're gonna reach out to you. We know the family's gonna want to see you again. So again, thank you for coming on to the show.
You're welcome. Thank you.
Awesome. Well, there you have it, family. Tammy Montgomery. We'll see you next time. Peace.